Hi guys, Arthur O'Meara here. Just wrote an article on the HTSUS on classification according to the HTSUS, so I thought I'd make a quick video and hit some highlights, things you need to consider when you do tariff classification. We're going to start with HTSUS, Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States. The key word is harmonized, the H. What does that mean? Well, that means that the tariff schedule of the United States is based on the harmonized system. All right, now the harmonized system is a list of 6-digit numbers published by the World Customs Organization that describes any tangible empirical item in the world. So there are exclusions. We're going to go over that in a bit. This means that if any tariff schedule around the world begins with the letter H, it is harmonized. That means it's based on the harmonized system. That means that all harmonized tariff schedules around the world are the same for the first 6 digits, and the last 2 or last 4 digits are country specific. Now, in the HTSUS, you have columns for duty rates, okay? There's column 2. Those are the duty rates for imports from Cuba, North Korea, and now we've added Russia and Belarus to column 2. Then you have the special column. Those are the duty rates for free trade agreements for our best friends, like, USMCA, South Korea, Panama, Colombia, things like that, all right? Then there's the general column. Those are the duty rates for imports from anywhere else in the world. In the United States, we have something called a Schedule B. Now, a Schedule B is kind of like a mini or a light version of the HTSUS. The HTSUS can be used to classify all imports into and exports from the United States, but the Schedule B is only used for classifying exports from the United States. Both the Schedule B and the HTSUS are based on the harmonized system. When you do classification, whether you use the Schedule B or the HTSUS, it doesn't matter, you have to consult the notes. There are basically 3 kinds of notes. There are section notes, there are chapter notes, and there are explanatory notes. Consulting the notes is what separates the good from the great. The section notes and the chapter notes are in the HTSUS. The explanatory notes, also published by the WCO, are a separate document. As U.S. Customs likes to say, although the explanatory notes are not dispositive, blah, 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 you got to consult the explanatory notes. When you do tariff classification, you're going to classify something 2 ways. You're going to classify it by its function or use, and you're going to classify it by its material. So if I have a rowboat, right, made out of fiberglass, I can classify it in 7019, articles of glass fiber, or I can classify it as a boat. One by function, one by use. Classifying it by a boat is more defensible, it's more specific, and besides that, the general rules of interpretation, which we're going to talk about now, require that I use the classification for boats when I'm classifying a boat. So the general rules of interpretation, 6 little rules, also published by the WCO. All harmonized tariff schedules around the world follow the same GRIs, and the GRIs state that if something is described by name and a tariff number, you have to use that classification. They also state that if you have 2 classifications, you have to choose the more specific classification, okay? Now, there are exclusions from the HTSUS, and the 2 big exclusions are information and energy. What this means is that there's no tariff number for information. That means that you'll have a tariff number for books, but you won't have a tariff number for the information in the books. And energy, you'll have a tariff number for batteries, but you won't have a tariff number for the electricity stored inside the battery. That's it for now. If you have any questions, contact me. Go to O'Meara & Associates on YouTube and LinkedIn. Have to hear from you. Thanks a lot.